Hi, it's Kelly Pfeiffer with Go Interactive Training, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to spice up your polls and surveys in Zoom by using the annotation tools. So let's get started. All right, so you see I have my slide up here. This is a slide I created on PowerPoint. This is an example of an activity, a survey, a poll, you can call it whatever you want, that I did in a workshop. So my workshop is about designing and delivering warm-ups. And so I showed this slide to the group to introduce the learning objectives. So I just briefly explained the 3 learning objectives for the workshop. And then I said, do you see the space, the box below these 3 learning objectives? I'd like to know which of these learning objectives is most important to you. And I want you to vote or let me know using the annotation tools. So then they would simply use one of the annotation tools and mark with a vote which one was most important to them. That was what I did. Now I'm going to explain a little bit of what happened and the prep that you might have to do to help your learners know how to use the annotation tools. So this is a screenshot I took after everyone indicated their preferences. So I took a screenshot, and this helps me because I can go back later, look at this screenshot, and say, oh, okay, learning objective number 1 is the most important learning objective for this group. So that's just some information I can keep in my mind as I move forward with this particular group. This helps me get to know my group a little bit better, and I even have documentation of their priorities, their choices, so I can go back and check on that if I need to. Also, this way of polling or doing a survey offers more options than the traditional Zoom poll. In the Zoom poll, everything is text, everything is words. And this way, I even added a few visual elements, a few images to my slide. You're just going to create a slide on PowerPoint that you can use. You can create slides in so many different ways. So I've got some other examples of how you might create a slide. All right, so here's one I've used before. Where do you live? Place a stamp to indicate your location. So I happen to be in the United States in the Southeast, so I'm going to vote there. But let's say I had other people voting, somebody from China, Spain. So that will show the whole group where people are from. Now, let me show you one more thing. Maybe you think people will be nervous about sharing where they're from. You can actually go to the top and annotate. No, let's see, it's actually here in more. In more, click on more as the host, and you can click hide names of annotators. Because did you notice when I annotated, my name popped up? So let's do that one more time. Let me vote. Here we go, in Brazil. See, it says Kelly Pfeiffer. So I am going to now go up to more, going to do hide names of annotators. Now let me vote again and say that I am from Mexico and my name did not show up. So as the host, you have the option of making your settings so that people's names show up when they annotate or people's names do not show up when they annotate. If you have set the annotation tools to hide who's annotating, let the group know that people are not going to know who's putting what on the screen. So that may be important for people feeling more comfortable annotating. So I'm going to clear all drawings. Before I move ahead, I put screenshot needed here. That is that's a reminder for me, the trainer. After people say where they're from, I may want to take a screenshot so that I can go back and look at that later and see the locations that everyone is from in this particular workshop. One more thing you can let people know when they aren't annotating, there is an undo button. If they annotate and they don't want to, they made a mistake or they don't want to show that annotation, they can always use the undo button. So you may want to let them know about that. So now I'm going to show you a few more examples that will give you some ideas of different kinds of slides you can make, different kinds of surveys you can do. So I used to teach parenting workshops, and now I train other people how to facilitate and train in this parenting workshop. So I made up this slide as an example of a survey that parent educators can use in their workshops with parents. So what's the age of your child? Put one stamp to represent each child. Again, I'll just do a little bit of an example here. Let's say I have one child who's in this age range and one child who's in this age range. That just gives me a little bit more information about the participants. So you could, depending on the topic that you teach, you may want to know more about your learners, and you can create a slide that relates to the topics that you teach and some things that you may want to know about the participants in your workshop. Here's another example of a survey, simple survey. I can ask parents, place a stamp to indicate the challenges that you're experiencing in your home. So this is a slide that you can create that helps people know how to use the annotation tools in Zoom. Now, your group may already know that. That's fine. But perhaps your group doesn't know that, or you're not sure that everyone in the group knows how to find the annotation tools on Zoom. So here is a slide that I created that gives the instructions. Move your mouse to the top of the screen until you see the menu and click View Options. Next, click on Annotate. Next, click on Stamp. And then I've got a practice area where people can actually practice a little bit before we even do the actual survey. People can just play around a little bit. Let people play for a minute so they get used to the annotation tools. Now, I will say that here's what happens with annotation tools. You may or may not know this. When I move to the next slide, the annotation tools are going to stay there. So if I want this practice page or any page to go away, then I need to go to the top of my screen, click Annotate, and then I need to click Clear. Clear, I'm going to clear all the drawings, and they go away. So for each new slide you put up, you will want to clear the drawings before you move the slide forward. So I hope this video was helpful for you if you're an instructor, a trainer, a facilitator, you're teaching online in some way, or even holding meetings online where you might want to gather some information. If you enjoyed this video, you can click the like button below. It's the thumbs up button. Again, I'm Kelly Pfeiffer with Go Interactive Training.